Dee, are you there? Please, I promise to let you live at your family's house again if you will just please take care of your mom. I can't stand living with her anymore. Whoa, Lauren, where is this all coming from all of a sudden? Are you not getting along with my mom? You've heard from your brother about how your mom is starting to show signs of dementia, right? Well, lately those signs have been getting really, really bad, and I just don't know what to do, but I can't stand having to take care of her now. Yes, of course I knew that Mom was starting to go like that, but I didn't realize that it had been getting worse. I really am at my limit already. Please, you have to come back and take care of her. I mean, you're her real daughter, not me. You should have been doing this from the start. I understand what you're saying, but you and my brother said you would live with my parents, right? I remember you saying how much you loved their house and how happy you would be to get to stay there. So then we all talked about it, I had to move out, and you and Marcus started living there instead. I know that, but, well, it wasn't like we were trying to kick you out. I just thought you could benefit a lot from living on your own. Well, I think you know very well that I never really wanted to move out, but you kept insisting and I finally caved. I didn't want to make things bad between you and my family or us, so that's why I agreed to it. But we all talked about it, remember? My mom said that whomever took care of her would get the house when she passed on. I know, but still. And the deal was basically that you and my brother would get the house, but only in exchange for the hard work of taking care of an elderly woman. Didn't my mom even have you two sign an agreement making that all clear? Did you not realize what you were getting yourself into? I'm sorry, Lauren, but that was pretty irresponsible of you. Yes, I know it was irresponsible. I realize that now, thank you. I was being selfish and I'm sorry, but I am seriously at my limits. So, now that we understand each other, can you please help me out of this mess? Have you talked about this with my brother at all? Because I think he'll be harder to convince. Yeah, I talked to him about it, but he just said that we have to grit our teeth and bear it. But he did say that he'd only be okay with it if you agreed to take our place. I really just don't know what to do with the two of you, but okay, if I'm going to move in and take care of my mom, then you realize that means you two won't get the house, right? So if you're okay with that, then I can move in and take your place. I really, really don't want to be doing this, but I just can't stand the situation any longer. I'll talk to your mom about who'll get the house, though. I just didn't think that taking care of her would be so difficult. Well, okay then, I guess I'll make some arrangements so I can move back there then. Do you think you could send me some more information on how my mom is doing? I just want to make sure to bring everything I'll need to take care of her. Yes, of course I can do this. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much help you're giving us. I'll call Marcus right away. Oh man, it feels so good to finally be free. Thank you, Dee. Hey, Marcus, are you there? I was just wondering if you had arranged all you need to for the funeral. You two are going to be able to make it to that this weekend, right?
Dee, I'm really sorry about this, but we decided that we're not going to go to a funeral, so thanks for reaching out, but yeah.
Wait, you mean you're not going to even go to our mom's funeral?
I just think it would be a waste of money to go all the way there. And it's not like I even got all that much from Mum's will. So I'm not about to just waste what little I did get just to go to a funeral. I mean, soon she'll be cremated and in an urn anyways.
But Marcus, you can't miss this. This is our mom. I can't believe that you're not going to come.
Well, it's not like Mum even had that many friends to begin with, you know, so I doubt there's going to be many people there anyways. So again, I just really don't think it's going to be worth it for me.
Marcus, please, you're being ridiculous. Don't you see that? You can't miss Mom's funeral. She gave birth to us. She raised us. She was there for us our whole lives until now.
Okay. You need to calm down, Dee. Do you really think Mum wants to look down on us and watch us fight like this? Now, I'm the eldest child, which makes me in charge of the family. So you do well to just do as I say.
And just what makes you think that you can boss me around like this, huh? I'm only asking you to show up for the funeral for your last living parent. How is that even close to being a waste of money?
Well, you know that it's not just that, right? I mean, I don't really think you're even the right person to be handling a funeral. After all, we were the ones that were promised Mum's house after she dies, so how about you just pack up your bags, move out already?
What do you mean?
I mean that there's not even going to be a funeral. It's just a waste of time and money.
Marcus, I really don't understand right now. Why did you mention the house?
Why wouldn't I mention the house? You confused about something? The house was always going to belong to Lauren and I. Remember you gave it up and promised that we could have it. You even signed a document saying that.
No, that was you signing the document, and it said that if you wanted the house, then you needed to take care of Mom. But you two couldn't handle it and ended up asking me to move back in with Mom. You gave up your claim to the house then and there. You realize that, right? And since I was taking care of Mom instead, I'm going to get the house.
I don't remember any of that at all. You're crazy if you think that's how it went. I mean, Lauren and I still have our copy of the contract, so how can you claim the house when I have a piece of paper here saying that we get it?
I don't believe this. You've got to be kidding me. Are you seriously doing this to me right now? You traded places with me, made it so that I would take care of Mom instead of you two, and now you're just going to take the house?
You make it sound like I tricked you. That's not fair. I'm just saying that I've got a contract here that says I get the house. So I think you might want to watch the way you talk to me about this.
Lauren, are you there? I have to ask you something. You do know that I'm getting my mom's house, right? You guys had me move in and take care of my mom until the day she died, so that means I'll inherit the house. I don't know what Marcus is thinking, but he seems to be under the impression that you two are getting it. I'm sorry, Dee, but it sounds like the only person who's got the wrong idea here is you. I never remember telling you that you'd get the house for trading places with us. What? What do you mean? How can you say that? Are you feeling okay? Are you sure you're not just tired since your mom has passed away? I would try to get some rest after all. You need to start packing up all your things to move out for us soon. You two? You've got to be kidding me. This was always your plan, wasn't it? You two were always going to try and steal the house back from me after Mom died, weren't you? You two were trying to run this con on my mom and I from the very start. Well, your mom's dead, so we were only trying to trick you. But man, it really wasn't easy having to take care of that woman. I really thought I would be able to tough it out because of how much I loved that house, but I just couldn't take it after a while, so that's why I had you handle her for me. After all, she is your mom, but to me, she was nothing more than a barrier standing in between me and her house. How can you say something like that? It's just horrible. What is the matter with you? You have no idea what it was like when her dementia started getting really, really bad. I couldn't stand her after that. She was completely incomprehensible. If you weren't ready to take on being there for my mom, then you shouldn't have offered to live with her in the first place. I mean, do you really think that you're going to get away with what you're doing right now? You and my brother have got to be two of the most selfish, duplicitous people I've ever met. Oh, come on, we're not that bad. You're just blowing this all out of proportion. I have every right to be mad at the two of you. I can't believe that you're actually trying to do this. I thought we had an understanding when I agreed to switch places with you and Marcus. So for you two to turn around and try to pull something like this, for you to put all the work of caring for my mom on me and then try and steal the house? I don't care what you say. It's all very clearly laid out in the contract that we signed. After all, I know that your mom was a really rich lady. That's why Marcus and I are going to try and squeeze her will for all it's got. The house, the land, the money, all of it. It'll all be ours. But why do you need it all? Why can't I get my fair share? I mean, you're bringing this way past the house now. You're talking about taking everything and leaving me with practically nothing. Of course we're going to leave you with nothing. The only way to handle a parasite like you is to cut you out as soon as possible. That's why I've asked Marcus to handle kicking you out of the house and making sure that you never come back. You think that I'm the parasite? Are you serious? I can't believe that you're calling me that. For the millionth time, I don't care what you think or how you feel. We have the contract, so the house is ours. Now, why don't you make this easy for all of us, pack up your bags, and go? Your mom is dead, so there's no need to have you around. You took care of her, she's gone, so now get lost. Okay, fine then, I will pack my bags and I will leave. Great, and just remember that you're not getting a penny from your mom's will. You really fell for our trap and didn't even realize it. Thanks to you, Marcus and I have been able to live in peace, knowing that we were always going to have things go our way. Well, if you think I didn't get anything out of this, you're wrong. I've been able to spend really valuable time with my mom during the final years of her life. Well, great then. It sounds to me like this whole thing has been a win-win, and there's no need for you to care about this any longer. So, since you got something nice out of the whole experience, I guess that means that you really don't care if Marcus and I take everything from your mom's will. Oh, yes, of course. You two can do whatever you want. Of course, I think you'll find there's really not that much to take. And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? I mean exactly what I said. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a funeral to plan. Goodbye, Lauren. Hey, Dee, what the heck is going on here? Just what are you trying to pull right now, huh? We had all our things packed up, arrived at the house, and now we can't get inside? It was like someone had changed the locks, and then, after we had to bust our way into our own home, the police were called. Since when did the house get sold? I had no idea about that. The house was sold about 3 years ago, actually. When I moved in to take care of my mom, that was when it happened. Wait, but why am I only hearing about this now? What is going on here? You can't just decide to sell the house without telling us. And what's wrong with that? The house became mine when I agreed to take care of my mom. And since I saw that duty through to the very end, I was able to do what I wanted with it. It's my house and I sold it. Got a problem with that? But it's not your house, it's our house. Well, the whole reason I sold it to begin with is because my mom asked me to. And I don't know why you think you or Marcus should have had anything to do with that conversation when you weren't taking care of her. What do you mean your mom asked you to sell it? Why in the world would she do something like that? You were right about my mom's dementia. It really was getting worse, but she wasn't completely gone. And during the day, she was quite lucid and was able to talk and have a conversation. So she asked me one day to sell the house. She said that she thought it would be best if we sold it and used the money to put her into a nursing home. You were going to use the money from the house to put your mom into a nursing home? Only because that's what she asked of me. She knew that you two really wanted to hold on to the house. But after you two switched with me and the house was going to go to me, she figured that she didn't have to hold it for the two of you any longer. She had actually been wanting to go into a nursing home for quite some time. But she kept her wish quiet from you two because she didn't want to upset you. She was holding back the whole time just for you two, and you still were only trying to use her and me to get what you wanted. But I had no idea. She never told us anything about this. Of course she didn't, but she did to me, and so I did sell the house, and I did put my mom into a home. But that's not fair. You never told us about this at all. And don't you know how hard Marcus and I tried to take care of her? And then you just go and sell the house without telling me? I was only so thankful to you taking over because I thought that you were going to stay there and keep the house clean for us until your mom died. I did what I did because my mom and I thought it might be what's best for her. I figured they would care for her well and be able to respond to any kind of trouble. And they were good. They were patient and gave my mom all the time that she needed to do what she needed to do. But don't even try and pretend that you and Marcus actually cared for my mom. Well, that's rich coming from you. You were the one that put her into a home where the staff did everything. You never took care of your mom at all. My mom told me about how even when she got sick with a terrible cold, you refused to take care of her. And when she needed help in the bathroom, neither you nor Marcus gave her the hand she needed. Besides, you're still forgetting the fact that Mom asked for this. I bet the reason she did ask for this was because you two did such a bad job with her. And just what is that supposed to mean? You don't know anything about what Marcus and I did. Except that my mom kept a diary and wrote about how you and Marcus treated her in it. It's full of nothing but complaints. You mean she kept records on us? Why would she do that? What's the matter with her? Don't you know that keeping a journal is what doctors recommend to help ward off dementia? It's all written there. She writes all about how your treatment of her got worse and worse. You're kidding me. But I had no idea that she was doing this. I didn't know that we were being watched like that. And does that make any of what you did okay? You really thought that you could get away with what you were doing because nobody was looking? Not only that, but you two have the gall to not come to her funeral after all you put her through? Well, if you have anything to say for yourselves, you can tell it to her urn.
Hey, sis. You there? Lauren was catching me up about what you were talking about with the diary and all. I just want you to know that I really had no idea that Lauren was doing this to our mum at all.
Oh, please, I can't believe that you're honestly trying to save your own skin right now. Besides, Mom wrote in her diary about how you and Lauren were awful to her.
Oh, please, Dee. You really don't understand how difficult it was for us taking care of money. It's only now that I see where I could have done better. But I understand the mistakes that I made. I want you to know that I'll happily apologise to Mum's remains. I was selfish and stupid and should never have acted that way. I should never have let Lauren act that way towards our mum either. But surely you have to understand how this has nothing to do with who should be getting what from the will, right? We're brother and sister, so of course we should be splitting everything, don't you think?
What? Are you serious? You really just said all that so you could ask me about money?
Well, money is important. And now that I know you sold the house to put Mum in a home, surely that means you should have money left, right? I never told you about this, but I know that Mum had a ton of money saved up she never touched.
She did? She had money hidden away?
So I guess you don't actually know. But it's true. Mum told me about it one day. She told me that it was for us after she passed away. She even gave me the account information.
Wait, she really did that?
That's right. I put Lauren in charge of taking care of it for us. So you just tell me how much money you still have from selling the house and I'll make sure that we each get our equal share of Mum's money.
Wait a second. You're not talking about that piece of paper with all those different bank accounts on it.
Oh, so Mum did tell you about that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She spread out her money in different accounts for us, but I think it's well over $1 million.
Marcus, I don't know what to tell you, but that was just a brain training exercise that Mom did. I don't know what account information she gave you, but Mom didn't even have a bank account.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Well, what do you mean she didn't have a bank account? Then what information did she give me?
It depends on when you asked her, but it could have just been all in her head. As for the paper with the banks, that was just a practice for her to name 10 of any one thing. Sometimes we did states, other times favorite foods, places she had been to, and banks that she knew. Although Mom was the one who told me about that training, and she said she learned it from you. She wrote in her diary that she was happy because you seemed to be helping her out, and that you suggested she write down 10 different banks, so I guess that's what she did.
That's not what I was telling you to do at all.
Well, I don't know what you mean to say. She had dementia.
But I don't understand. This can't be happening. I thought she had money hidden away. I quit my job thinking I'd get this.
You quit your job for money that didn't really exist?
Well, I thought it did. Please, you have to tell me how much you got from the house. I deserve half of it.
I'm sorry, but there's no money left anyways, and you're not getting anything. The nursing home I sent Mom to was a very nice one, and it cost quite a bit of money. By the final year she was there, I was using some of my own money to help support her, actually.
So then, there's nothing? There's no money? No will? No assets? Nothing?
That's right, but anyways, since we have that cleared up, I wouldn't bother coming over to see Mom. Sounds to me like you and Lauren have much bigger problems to talk about. Anyways, have a nice life. And so that's how I found out that both Lauren and Marcus had quit their jobs in the expectation of a big payout that was never going to come. With all of their things packed up and ready to move into a new place, though, they were able to find an apartment and move in. I hear that they also quickly had to find jobs, but because they didn't have time to go through the whole hiring process, just took the first jobs they could get. They tried begging me for help, but I ended up blocking them on everything. I also made sure to tell the rest of our family of the horrible way they treated my mom. I haven't heard a word from either of them since, and that's just fine with me. Now I'm living in my own home with my mom's urn on a mantle, watching over me.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey there, Emma. I just wanted to let you know that I found that lunch that I made for you in the trash. Was there something wrong with what I cooked?
You mean that steaming pile of garbage you left on the counter for me? I'm going to be eating the school lunches from here on out. I don't ever want to have to taste your awful cooking again.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. I got up early just to make you your favorite. I know that you said you had a big meeting today, so I wanted to pack you something that you'd really like.
Ew! Don't ever say anything like that to me ever again. And just what are you trying to pull here anyways? You know we're not even related by blood, so I don't need you pretending to be my mom when we both know that you're not.
Emma, honestly, why are you acting this way towards me? I don't know what I did to you to deserve this kind of language. Why are you talking to me like this all of a sudden?
Oh, just shut up already, you stupid old hag. All the meddling you're doing is just negatively affecting me at work. I can't even focus now because I didn't have lunch at all, because it would mean I would have to force down your nasty slop.
That's not fair at all. I'm sure that there were other options you could have gotten to eat.
But it's not just the food, it's your whole existence that's ruining everything for me. And it's all your fault that I wasn't chosen to work on that big project for my job.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the meeting yesterday was about presenting proposals for our now product line we're releasing for Mother's Day. I worked on my ideas for 6 whole months, but my bosses went with another person's designs. If you were a better mother, then I would have to know how to appeal to moms better.
Well, I'm sure you worked very hard, and I'm sorry that your idea wasn't picked, but you can't really think that it's my fault, right?
And just what is that supposed to mean? I know that my ideas were perfect, and the other girl who presented looked like she had just thrown her proposal together the day before. So what I want to know is why wasn't mine picked? And the answer is because I don't have a real mom.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this new line was meant to market to moms, but I bet people in the office knew that I didn't have a mom. And so even though I had a great idea, I wasn't chosen. It's all your fault. If you weren't in my life, then people wouldn't have panned my project.
Emma, please just calm down for a little and think this through. I know the feeling of not having your idea chosen. It can hurt your pride and sting you, but blaming other people isn't going to solve anything.
Just shut up already, you annoying witch. Why did I have to end up with you as a mom? Where's my real mom? Why isn't she here? I wish you were still here instead of you. You ruined my chances of ever moving up the company just by existing. Now this little nobody with half-assed ideas is going to get all the credit I should have.
Emma, please just listen to yourself.
No! You ruined everything! I had a plan all worked out and you blew it up. And also, your cooking stinks. I never want you to cook anything for me ever again. Oh, Carly, are you there? I just heard that my daughter is engaged to be married, and I just have to know it's true. Because I heard that she's going to be marrying some higher-up who happens to work for a huge company. So basically, my little girl struck it rich. I couldn't be more proud.
Wait a second, you've heard that Emma's going to be getting married? I haven't heard anything like that at all.
You mean that you two live in the same house and you didn't even know that she was getting married? Just what kind of mother are you anyways? I mean, this is huge news, and you're hearing about it through me, her real mother?
But I'm still so confused.
Well, I suppose that means you haven't heard about the news from Emma yourself then. And I have no idea how to get a hold of her either. But I just heard rumors that she was getting married. That's the whole reason I'm messaging you in the first place.
Well, I suppose that I can just go and ask Emma myself. And just to be clear, you are nothing to Emma, remember? So while I'm grateful to you for sharing this news to me, I'm going to stop responding to you now.
Hold on just a second. We're not through here. You can't just take what I gave you and run off like that.
And just what more is there to talk about? You've told me what you heard and I said thank you, but Emma still thinks that you're dead.
You really are a terrible mother. Do you know that? I still don't get how you could tell a daughter that her real mother is dead when I'm right here.
Excuse me? The only horrible mother here is you, Sadie. Do you have any idea how much you've put your poor husband and Emma through? The whole reason Emma thinks you're dead in the first place is because Doug and I talked and agreed that it would be easier that way.
Oh yes, I'm always the bad guy, aren't I? I'm literally the worst mother in the world. But I still have my ways of getting information when I want it. Like, through some Doug's old co-workers, or old teachers from school that Emma went to. And I still haven't forgotten how you two sued me for spending all the money Doug and I had set away from Emma's education. I was pretty wild back then, wasn't I?
If you realize that, then please understand why we never want anything to do with you ever again. And that includes Emma.
Well, I'm afraid that you and I are just going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Because while I can admit that I'm a horrible mother, the fact of the matter is, I'm still Emma's mother. And what that means is that I want to get half of all the money Emma gets on her wedding day.
Wait a second, you're trying to take money from your own daughter's wedding?
That's right. I'm the girl's mother, and that means what is hers is mine. So I should get my fair share. I need money to pay back this latest lawsuit what I'm dealing with.
Let me guess, you cheated on another married man.
Well, this one wasn't my fault. The guy said that we would get married. He told me that things with his wife weren't going so good, but it was still taking too long for me. So I called his wife and told her to hurry up and leave her husband. But then, after they got divorced, the man told me that I blew up his life and left me.
And then the wife sued the two of you for the affair? Well, you can't pretend like that's anyone else's fault but your own. But how could you even think to want to use your own daughter's wedding money to pay off your debts?
Well, if you don't want to make Emma pay, then I have another idea. You can pay off all my debts in Emma's place. I think about $20,000 should do it.
I'm sorry, but no one is under any obligation to give you any money, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I kept my existence a secret from my daughter for 20 years. Do you think I'm going to keep doing that for free? Now, do you want to write a check or send it over an app?
Hey, Emma. I'm really sorry to bother you while you're at work, but we have something important we need to talk about.
Can you not leave me alone for a whole day? What could you possibly want now? You've already ruined my chances with the Mother's Day proposal, and now I have more work that I have to do.
Again, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're so busy, but you just never talk to me at home. There was something that I needed to ask you. Are you engaged to be married?
Wait, what? How did you figure that out? Who told you? I haven't even told my dad that I'm engaged to this guy, so how did you figure it out?
Emma, why wouldn't you tell your father and I that you were getting married? This is huge, amazing news and something to be happy about. Although I would have loved to hear the good news from you yourself.
Shut up, you nosy old woman. I was never ever going to tell you about my wedding, ever. But I guess somehow someone let the secret out and told you.
What do you mean you were never going to tell me? This is huge news. Why wouldn't you tell your parents this?
What did you just say? How many times do I have to tell you that we are not related? You are not my mom, and you need to stop trying to act like you are. You're just a faker. A phony. You're not my mom.
Of course I'm your mom. Who was it that raised you for the past 20 years, huh?
What do you want, a medal or something? You're nothing but an over-glorified babysitter to me. I will never ever think of you as my mother.
Emma, why are you acting like this?
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I may as well tell you everything. I'm going to be marrying someone from my work. He works in the upper management of my company, and we've been going out basically since I started this. And not that long ago, he proposed to me.
I had no idea that you were even dating anyone at all.
Well, my fiancé's family is very rich and powerful, and they have a bunch of rich and powerful friends too. So, I didn't want you getting involved since I know that you'd ruin it for me like you do everything else. And that's why I didn't say anything.
How can you say that I would ruin this for you? And do you really even think being related by blood matters that much? It doesn't change the fact that I was the only one raising you alongside your father. It doesn't erase all the past times we've had together as mother and daughter.
What times were those again? I can't seem to remember anything right now. All I remember is how many times you've gotten in my way. It's no wonder I hate you so much.
Emma, how can you speak to me like this?
And you better believe that I'm not going to invite you to the wedding. I'm only going to invite my dad. But there's no way I'm going to have my make-believe mom there.
What did you just call me?
I don't get why you're trying to talk to me like that. You know I don't think of you as my mom. Instead, I'm going to save a seat for my real mother who'll be watching me getting married from above.
Are you really sure you want to do that? Do you really think of me so little as your mother that you wouldn't even invite me to your wedding?
You are never going to know any detail about it, Carly. So don't bother snooping around for any info on it. The only mom of mine I want there is my real mom.
Well, if that's really what you want, I can just invite her for you then.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't need to leave an empty seat for her because she can actually just come and sit there instead. I mean it, I'll tell her that you want her there at your wedding. I'm sure she'll be overjoyed.
Wait a second. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me that my mom is still alive? But you and Dad always told me that she died in a car accident when I was just a baby.
That's right, we did, but that was a lie that your dad and I agreed would be better to tell you. Truth is that your parents divorced when you were very little and we thought you wouldn't understand, so instead we told you that your birth mother was dead.
But she's actually alive this whole time? My real biological mom. Yes, she has to be at my wedding. I need to have her there.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll just stay at home like the little faker that I am.
This is perfect. This is going to be the best wedding ever. Please reach out to my real mom and tell her that I'm so excited to meet her. Get this woman out of my wedding right now. Please, do you think you could come over here and deal with this for me? I promise that you'll be my real mom from now on, but just come and help me.
And I was just about to turn on my favorite show while I sit down for lunch. What is it, Emma? What can your fake mother do for you today?
You might be a fake mom, but you're better than this horrible lady. She's completely ruining my wedding right now. I've never met anyone like her. She's awful. I can't believe that we're actually related.
Ruining your wedding? But I thought that you wanted Sadie to be there for you on this day.
Well, she showed up to the wedding and immediately grabbed a bottle of wine for herself and was just drinking it out of the bottle. That was a while ago, and now she's completely wasted. And she's just making a total mess of herself and my wedding. I tried to get her to meet my husband, and she just told him to meet him in the bathrooms in an hour. It totally ruined the whole mood for the day. Even when I tried to laugh it off and tell everyone she was joking, it was too late. And then she just started cursing at my husband's parents. Then she said that they'd all be family from now on and that she wanted them to send her a lifetime supply of wine.
Wow, well, it sounds like she was just making a fool of herself in front of everyone.
Then she tried to get all buddy-buddy with my future mother-in-law and started asking her all these perverted questions. Everyone was just watching in horror as my mom went from person to person saying horrible, vile things.
Wow, she really didn't hold back at all, did she?
And Dad didn't even do anything either. He just sat back and watched as it all happened. He just looked at me and told me that this is what I was asking for by insisting she come. The whole day was completely ruined.
Well, I have to agree with your father on this one. I knew that it wouldn't be a good thing if your mother showed up to your wedding.
How did it all come to this?
But don't forget that you were the one that said that you didn't want me there, so I'm not about to go and put out that fire for you. This is the wedding you wanted, like it or not. Maybe just think of it as a comedy show and you can feel a bit better about it.
What are you talking about? This isn't what I wanted for my wedding at all. How am I supposed to enjoy the day like this? My husband won't look me in the eyes anymore.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's my place as your fake mother to say anything. So I'll just sit here and watch my shows now if you don't mind.
Oh man, my head is just pounding. I think I might have just a little too much to drink yesterday because I don't remember the wedding at all. But the venue handed me the bill because I apparently broke a bunch of stuff.
You really made a mess of it yesterday, or so I heard. According to Emma, you were quite the sight at the wedding. But I would pay that bill because it is very real.
Are you kidding me? This bill is for $30,000. I don't have that kind of money. You should pay it instead.
And just why should I have to? I didn't have anything to do with the wedding.
Well, isn't that just sad? So you really didn't show up to the wedding at all? I was really meant to take your place there? That's hilarious. But if that's the case, then you should pay for it then.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't care if you don't get it. Just pay the money. You're Emma's mom too, so you need to take responsibility for what her real mom did.
I'm afraid that I'm no longer Emma's mom. I decided to cut her out of my life entirely. You're gonna have to take responsibility for your actions.
What do you mean you cut her off out of your life?
I mean that I spent decades of my life raising her only for her to treat me like I wasn't real. I talked to her father and he agreed it was probably best. So anyways, this is all your problem to deal with.
But I can't pay this much money. Besides, I still haven't gotten any of Emma's wedding money.
If you want to negotiate that, you're gonna have to speak with Emma yourself. I'm sure she'll listen to what you have to say since you're her real mother.
You have to do something. My wedding was cancelled. My fiancé said that he couldn't marry me, and both his parents said that I could never be part of their family.
Oh, and you were so close too. Oh well.
My life is just one failure after the next. First, my proposal wasn't chosen. Now I've lost my fiancé, and I'm so embarrassed that I'll never be able to show my face at work again.
What do you mean by that?
Carly, I'm so sorry for calling you my fake mom. I realize now that you're the only mother I've ever had. So please, can you help me buy all these cancellation fees for the wedding?
Wow, you really just dove into asking for money, didn't you?
Please. My work isn't going so well, and I was just taking out my anger on those around me. I really do think of you as my mom. I'm glad that we all live together.
Well, that's not going to last for much longer since your father sold the house.
Wait, what?
Yep, we talked it out and we decided to cut you off entirely. And though we've been in this house for many years, it's time that we leave it behind. We've already signed all the papers and sealed the deal.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, it's the truth. You have until the end of the day to pack up your things. The real estate people are coming to inspect the house this weekend.
But then where are you and Dad going to live? I want to stay with you two.
I'm not going to tell you that because we never want to see you again.
You can't be serious.
So thank you for living with your fake mother up until now, but you can be free and live your real life now. After that, we threw all of Emma's things outside the house for her to sort through and drove off to live in our new home. I heard that Emma quit her job and moved into a tiny apartment where she's living now. She tried asking around to friends and family about where Father and I had moved to, but they kept our secret for us and no one ever told her. As for Sadie, she was forced to pay for the damages she's caused, and I heard she ended up having to borrow from some pretty shady people to pay it back.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.